Hi, welcome to another edition of Antique Radio Archaeology. Today we're going to get started on a Western Electric 540 AW hornless speaker. Now, what I mean by hornless speaker is this speaker does not use a horn, it uses a cone, and obviously this one is missing its cone, which we're going to go ahead and I've got one on order, so when I get that in I'm going to go ahead and replace that. Now, you can make these cones out of poster board, and we'll talk a little bit about that as I get into the video. Now, there is another version of this, which is the 560 AW. This one here, the 540, uses an 18-inch cone. The 560 uses a 25-inch cone, so it's much larger. Both of them sound incredible for their time, and that's something that makes these things very, very desirable to collectors, and something well worth restoring if you happen to come across one. I only paid about 12 bucks for this one, so I got real lucky on this particular purchase. But the cone that I'm going to be getting is coming from Buford Chidester. If you know anything about that name, or if you've ever heard that name, you'll know that he is the author of the book called Classic Cones, which specializes in speakers of the 1920s/30s era. So it's an incredible book, by the way. I really, really, really do recommend it to anyone who has any kind of interest in this hobby. It's well worth making that purchase if you happen to come across one. Now, I know they are available through resellers. They're no longer publishing it, I don't believe, but they are still widely available. So anyway, let's go ahead and get a closer look at this and see what we got to do and get started on the restoration here. So obviously this thing's not real pretty. It does need a bit of work. The bottom, definitely need to get that all taken care of, get some new felt for the bottom. Definitely need to repaint this. Do need to clean up some stuff here. First thing we need to do is test it out, make sure that we've got something that works. And you're wondering how I can do that without a cone. I'm going to show you here in a second. Okay, I've got a little signal tracer here which puts out a pretty high level signal. Let's see. There you go. What you're hearing is actually that rod vibrating at an audio rate. So it's very low, but you can imagine if I had the full speaker on here how loud that would be. Now, the way you can tell the difference between a 540 and 560, if you don't have the other ones sitting next to it, is, like I said, the 18-inch cone. If you measure from the top of this base here to the bottom of the magnet, you'll see it's about 9 inches. The 560 will be about 12 inches, or a little bit more than 12 inches to get it up high enough for the speaker cone. So this is definitely a 540 AW based on that measurement. I need to go ahead, one of the things that is always an issue with these is, this is the back of it by the way, is you can see there's like a silk material that actually covers this whole back, and I'm missing that as well. Now Buford is going to send me that as well, so I'm glad of that, because I really don't know where to pick that up, other than it's probably just a matter of getting some relatively translucent silk material from any fabric store. But the first step in this process is going to be to get everything off the base so that I can go ahead and wire brush this whole thing and get it repainted and clean up this area right here and get it all back together and get it ready for the cone coming in. So this shouldn't take too long. I'm just basically buying time until I can get the cone in from Buford. So let's go ahead and start disassembling this thing. Favorite column's kind of clamped in here. This ring here. Okay. It's kind of like an automobile headliner. There we have it. Just the base. Ah, that's interesting. There you have the original color. That's actually kind of comical, because this is the color that I found that I was going to replace it with. And they're almost an exact match. So here's my new comb from Buford. As you can see, it's really nicely made. You could do this yourself technically. It's made from kind of a poster board. The graphics were hand drawn, and a cone was created for the front and for the back with a hole cut out that fits this ring here. Some reinforcements were added here. Inside there's a reinforcement added here, and you also have the metal hardware for the tip, and you pretty much have to have that from the old speaker if you've got it. So if you were going to try and recreate this, you could possibly do it. The key is you got to have about 4 inches from the back here to there. So that's how you make your own. Now I'm going to go ahead and secure this cone. Western Electric up. So I have a slight problem here, and that is that this wire that comes out is supposed to be 2.5 inches, and what I'm reading is about 2 and a little over 1/4. So it's a little bit short, and it's the same gauge as this paper clip, so I'm going to use this paper clip to create a new one. I'm going to go slightly longer. I'm going to go 2 3/4, and I will snip it later down to the size it needs to be. All right. There we go. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and secure the cone. Western Electric on the top. I'm going to go through that, thread that wire that I just soldered on here. So I need to glue this fabric to this paper ring that's underneath it. And so what I did is I went ahead and pinned it down. And now I'm just going to take some glue and go all the way around the edges. And try not to make a mess. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry. Let's see how that turned out. So, special shout out to Buford Chidester for the incredible cone that he sent me. I just can't get over the quality and the ease of installation on it. This concludes yet another episode of Antique Radio Archaeology. Happy restorations, everybody. Hope to see you again next video.